Okay, so Dale, if you just look at me and answer
All
the
right.
questions, we'll
Sure.
talk about Sam a little. Sam is the Academy Sports and Outdoors recipient of the Male Student Athlete of the Year Award. And let's talk about his contributions to Trinity Soccer, not just this year, but through his whole career, and how his ability to make people better made this whole program.
Yeah, Sam's a great kid, and he's a player that we're going to certainly miss around here, not only on the field but in the halls of Trinity High School. Ever since he came to Trinity as a freshman, you could see from his ability that he was going to make a lot of people better. And he came on, was in the varsity team his freshman year, got better every season. Going into his junior year, we asked him to become more of a complete player. Instead of being so unselfish and setting everyone up, we asked him to try to take on some of that scoring load, and he responded in great fashion, and that carried into this past season as a senior, where he was named Gatorade Player of the Year for the second year, and then was also named Kentucky Mr. Soccer.
And when you have a talent like his, what do you attribute the excellence? What's his main, that main attribute that just brings out the best that when you see him, hey, that's what he can rely on all the time?
Yeah, Sammy's got the drive. He's got the drive that he just never quits, whether he's studying, whether he's working on a project in school or something not related to soccer or his classes. He's looking to be the best he can be in everything he does, and you can see that from how he approaches training, where he's one of the best kids in training every day, if not the best kid every day. He just does a great job of pushing his limits and getting the most out of himself.
And then beyond his skill, physical skill, his mental approach, and his ability to work with teammates and help make them better. I mean, that's always something a coach is looking for. But let's talk about those other things he brings beyond the skill set that he has with soccer.
Yeah, well, first off, his understanding of the game is very keen. Rarely will you find players at this age that really understand the game, I think, as deep as Sam does. And with that, he has tremendous vision. He has a good understanding of what's going on behind him every time that he receives the ball, knows when he can turn, when he should play quick, knows who's fresh on the field in terms of maybe getting them in behind their guy a little bit sooner than other players might. So just his vision, his awareness of the game are first class, and then at the same time he's got the skill set, the hard work, the determination, the grit. He's got everything any coach would ever want in a player.
How did he make, give me an example of his unselfishness or his ability to lift others around him, especially his teammates as captain this year?
Yeah, well, we got down to, senior day. We had 12 seniors on the roster, and it was a very difficult decision for the coaches on which senior to leave out. And we kind of got down to a system that we were going to use, and Sam was one of the kids to finally step up and say, hey, Coach, it doesn't matter to me if I start tonight or not. It was already determined he would start, and the player that was going to sit out was fine with it. But to me, that was just an indication of what a great team player he is. I mean, here it is, senior night. Every player, every senior wants to be on the field for senior night, especially from the start of the game. But Sam was willing to take that role to the side and step aside for a teammate. So little things like that, and then certainly in the games, you'll see him bow out to a senior that might look to get an easy goal perhaps on a penalty kick. He might dish a ball off to a guy that's on 2 goals to help him get a hat trick when he could have simply tapped it in himself. Little things like that he's a special kid and a special player.
That's great. Thank you, Dale.
All
Appreciate
good?
it very
No
much.
problem.
Yeah.